The journey is never ending. There is always going to be growth, improvement, and adversity. You just got to take it all in and do what's right. Continue to grow and continue to live in the moment. So, for starting a new chapter of learning, I, Anshika Kumari, being your host for today's event, wants to extend a warm greeting and good afternoon to all of you present here. I hope you all are doing amazing. On behalf of the whole SEMS family, I welcome you all for today's international webinar on the topic personality development. And to add our guest of honor and today's speaker, Mr. Naresh Lakhani, it is a great honor to have you with us, sir. We are very grateful for your presence. Also, I see a quite number of people are joining. Before I proceed, let me take a brief moment for the introduction of my organization. Center Foundation is a non-profit entity established to work in the areas of education, social welfare, women empowerment, skill development and entrepreneurship, livelihood generation and employability, health, research, culture, international cooperation, sports, environment protection, or any other sector. We build healthy lives, a balanced and active community, and strong businesses. Now, let me introduce today's speaker to you all. Mr. Naresh Lakhani, he is a CA, CPA USA, CMA, runs a CA consultancy firm. He is also a public speaker on life skills topic, including guest faculty for the ICAI courses. He had been CFO of Convergys India and on the board of legal entities prior to this. He worked 6 hours in the 6 years USA with passion to contribute, support society, yoga areas. So
Thank you, Anshika, for the nice introduction, and also thank you to Sakshi for inviting me from SEMS. So, friends, today's topic is personality development, or how we can actually improve our personality. So, the purpose is that how we can become from bland to interesting person. We often come across people who are very friendly, funny, kind, confident, and they earn a lot of respect in the society, and we all like them. And on the other hand, there are some people who are very negative, such as rigid, stubborn. They are very controlling. They want things to be done in their way. They are sometimes dishonest, greedy, selfish, argumentative, and we don't like them. We obviously consider them, not a good personality. And not that one person would have all the qualities at the same time, or all the bad qualities, but certainly there are things where we can pay attention, we can improve. I mean, some people definitely have this, inborn ability, little bit a better personality, but that doesn't mean that you cannot build a personality, or that you cannot learn. I'm sorry, I see some people are waiting. Maybe if someone can just allow them to come in so that I don't have to do it. Thank you. And very again, like we can learn it. It's not a big deal. We can certainly improve. And I tell everyone that you have to focus on things. Whatever you believe is not great in your personality, or wherever you have to work on, please make sure you focus on it. You write it down in a notebook and make sure that you work on it on daily basis, small steps, little by little. You can definitely do it. You can definitely improve. So again, the purpose is that you become a interesting people. You can make people laugh, you be kind, all these things. So first, I would talk about what exactly personality is. So personality is actually from a word persona. Persona is a Latin word, and it means a mask. So mask is something, what you see from outside. It is quite possible that my personality is very good, but as a person I am not as good as my personality is. So again, it is mask, and it started from in Europe. They used to have plays in which people used to wear masks. So it's called used to persona. For example, I am a normal person and I play as a king, so I would wear a mask of king, and that is how persona word or personality. So exactly what is not there, but world sees. But another question is that which I usually come across, people talk about what is difference between personality and character. Personality is again, as what you see from outside, and character is what actually you do and how you react or act when nobody is watching you. So, for example, I found 500 rupee note, which by mistake, Anshika had, and she dropped it somewhere. She did not know where it has gone. I see it. I know that it is belongs to Anshika without Anshika knowing it that I have found it. I go to Anshika and I tell her that, Anshika, I found 500 rupees, and please take it back. So this is my character, and personality is again, again what people see. So personally, I believe that personality and character should be as close as possible, because as we say in Hindi, we cannot do dramabazi for a long time. As long as it is 80-90% close to the character, it works and people appreciate it. And again, you cannot fake it for a long time. Similarly, all of us see that there are people, great personalities and all that. We all want to become like them. And again, sometimes we want to compare with them. Even you may have some movie stars or some leaders in your mind. For example, he may be your office boss, or maybe some people may want to become like Amitabh Bachchan, or some may want to become like Virat Kohli or Dhoni. Again, this is very common thing. And again, I'm not saying that you become copy paste of someone, but you can try and you can adopt or adapt basically to some good personality traits. And it is not that hard. I'm just simply telling you, please make sure that you focus on it. So now let me come to how to improve your personality. So there is no one formula or one thing I can tell you that please, do this and your personality will become pleasant and you're maybe become a very nice personality. First, I always tell everyone that, keeping physically and mentally fit. Believe me, we all know that, and there is nothing to shy about this thing that, someone who is physically very fit, this is something, a great thing, we all admire. Sometimes we like sports stars who are good looking, though it has nothing to do with what he has been doing with his job or profession. And it goes everywhere. And people who are physically fit, they usually, people get attracted from them, and people like them and people want to be with them. But for that, you have to invest in your physical activity. I go to many seminars, including the Institute of Chartered Accountant, and whatever the topic is, I always touch upon the physical fitness. I tell them that physical fitness will increase your life by, let us say, 10, 15, 20 years. And the purpose is not just to increase your life, it is actually to make your life a good and healthy life. Doesn't mean that last 20 years of your life you are struggling, taking all the pills, running around hospitals. And most of the doctors now admit that 80% is in our hand, 20% or maybe 10% is in the gene. So, go for walks, go do yoga, gym, whatever, you personally like. But walk, I personally believe, is the best exercise in the world. I spoke about it last time also, and it shows on your body. Physical fitness shows on your body and becomes part of your personality. So it doesn't mean that you need to be light-skinned person or you need to be like Virat Kohli. It could be anyone. You can improve it. I can tell you if you do all these good things. Another, as I mentioned, was mentally fit. So no one likes, mentally unstable people. So, for example, I get irritated very quickly. I get agitated. I'm short tempered. I don't have patience, or I don't appreciate people, or I get agitated. All these things are signs of mentally unfit people. And again, if a person is unfit, no one would like that kind of personality. So, for example, if someone cuts my car and fast, they are fast, I'm slow, and I see that they did it in a wrong way or the left side, or what they did, they could have hit my car or damaged my car. I can still be at peace, and I may find some excuses for that guy, that maybe he was in a hurry, his mother was not feeling well, or maybe he may have some another issues at home. Maybe he did that, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to abuse him. I'm not going to feel bad about him. So people appreciate such kind of personalities. So mentally, you have to be mentally fit. Similarly, like how I talk to people. If I again, talk in aggressive fashion, if I always use bad words, my tone is high with my subordinates, and if I go and talk to my bosses, I talk nicely. That's not something people like. And as I mentioned, emotions are very. You have to have good control over emotion. I'm not saying that you never get agitated or you never get angry, but the question is how long and how many times in a day you get agitated, and how long you cling on it. For example, I get upset with, just for example, a person who was supposed to join my meeting, or who was host of the meeting, and he was late by 5 minutes. So maybe I'm not happy, but how much emotions I show there, how long does it impact my mind or brain, or people are late for meeting, or someone not paying me, let us say, my money or receivables, and I get agitated, and it happens at home also. So people who are calm, they are liked. And again, you can work on this thing. It's not a big deal. Another is how you make other people feel is very, very important. It doesn't matter if I am CEO, CFO, or how much money I have. It matters is what really matters is how I make other person feel. So, for example, if I go to my office and there are guards, security guards. How I treat them, how respectfully I talk to them. If they want to check my bag, or if they want to do normal security check, I don't need to feel agitated. Or if they have some problem, do I show some empathy, talk to them nicely, and just behave how I behave with people who are below my economic or social strata. That also shows my personality. Not that how I talk to people who are richer than I am, or who are my bosses, or who control me. Most of us pretend there, but it is important that you treat people below your economic strata, or below your position level, how you treat them. That is also one of the important things. So again, I am trying to say is that you have to focus on these things. That yes, these things matter. People pay attention, and this is how people consider you. If you are good or not. Another is increase your knowledge about contemporary topics. So I'm a chartered accountant. If I only talk about tax and accounting, and I don't know what is going around in the world, and I'm not saying you keep yourself involved or spend all your time or day on negative news you see on TV or all those debates, but at least I need to know what is going on. For example, some cricket matches are going, some finals are going, semi-finals. It is always good, that you can talk to people. Or let us say global warming, I would say, or moving to new, better fuel, let us say, renewable energy and all that. If I know a little bit more than my subjects and topic, people would find me interesting. And frankly, even what I am doing today is this session. That also is, I had personal interest. It's not like topic which I learned from the Institute of Chartered Accountants. So it is part of learning more than what my subject or what my core competency requires me. Again, yes, I need to be competent, or I need to excel in one subject, but yes, overall I need to have understanding of things going on in the contemporary world. And similarly, I need to have opinions. No doubt I can have my own opinions, but I need to make sure that I am nice to people, I am gracious, I am articulate, I am logical. Not that I have opinion and I always believe that the other person's opinion is wrong, and I bully them, and I be not nice to them. Again, be gracious, and sometimes you step back because you want to have nice and amicable relationship with a person. It's like agreeing to disagree. Sometimes we agree to disagree also. And even if I completely, disagree, I can be gracious, I can be nice, and I don't need to always win. For example, my father used to say that if you win an argument, you basically lose the friendship. So if you are a good personality person, you don't need to get into argument all the time and try to win them. Just take it easy. Another point is be yourself, be comfortable with yourself. So again, you need to be comfortable. No doubt that you need to improve yourself, but you can also be yourself, but you can improve in your own identity. As we all know, that we don't need to copy paste someone. My purpose or objective of life is simply that I become better than what I was a month back or yesterday, but I am not striving to be better than someone else. And you start liking your company as well, so that when you are sitting alone, you don't feel uncomfortable, you don't feel depressed. If you feel depressed or if you feel lonely when you are alone, it means that there is some personality issue and you even don't like your own company. You should be your best friend, and you should know ways, how to, and that is when you have actually time. When you have time for yourself only, then you can improve. If you have no time for yourself, you cannot be yourself, you cannot improve. Another is be a good listener. It is very important that we be good listener. Many time it happens that we talk about ourselves, we know a lot, and we believe that we are always right and other person is foolish, and we are not even keen in listening them. People want to be heard and listen. Sometimes people just want your ears, you just lend your ears, and when you listen, basically you improve your knowledge as well. And as I mentioned, sometime you don't have any solution, but at least you can have empathy. So if you are good listener, you have empathy. Maybe not that you are compassionate always or you always have solution for the problem, but even frankly, I have talked to people sometime and they tell me, Naresh, I don't have any, I cannot do this thing. I said, I know that, but I am just talking to you because you are a good listener and I love you. And it just makes me feel comfortable that you're listening to me. So be someone, and again, you improve your knowledge when you listen. If you don't listen, you don't improve your knowledge. And there's a saying that God has given us 2 years because listening is harder, and it's not that easy with 2 years and only one mouth. We talk a lot, but we don't want to listen to people. So please, even if they belong to different community, different religions, they have their views. Be gracious, kind, to be patient when you listen to them. Next is improve your communication skills. Communication skills, we all know. I tell everyone that if you are good in communicating, and communicating doesn't mean that you need to be a good public speaker. I mean, when you have conversation with someone, when you write something, or your body language, your gestures should be nice enough, and you should be able to give your message and receive message. So communication doesn't mean, communication actually is again from a Latin word which is commune. Communes means sharing. So when you are sharing your thoughts, you should be thorough. You should use the right means. I mean, for example, not every time I can have phone, not every time I can use WhatsApp, not every time I can write. Sometime, speaking is better. Sometimes personal meeting is better than speaking on the phone. Sometimes writing is better than personal speaking or meeting in person. It all depends. And then again, you need to make sure that people are involved in the thing what you are talking, they understand it well, and you receive their feedback in a positive fashion. So if you don't receive feedback in a positive fashion, if you go in a meeting and you just want to talk and you don't want to listen, believe me, that communication is not done. So again, people who communicate well, we say that they are good personality. It's very common. The next is work on your confidence. We people like confident people. If I am confident, if I can be a doer, if I can get things done, people like confident people rather than people who are sitting and not doing anything. And obviously, confidence in something which again I tell people that you can develop it. It's a skill, you can learn it. For example, I don't mind after a while I have done preparation for trying for the things. Only when I try and I succeed, I become more confident man. People, I would not become confident man, I will become confident man only when I take actions, I do something, I succeed. Yes, there is possibility that at times I may not succeed. It may be 3 times in 10 times, but this is the only way you actually develop your confidence. And also for confidence, you need to make sure that you surround yourself with good people, people who admire you, who appreciate you. Yes, they need to give you feedback and honest feedback, but at the same time, they should not let you down. There are many people who let you down, who pull you down all the time. Their intention is that somehow you don't move up in the ladder, or the personality, they have some defect in the personality and that they let everyone down. So please, as much as possible, avoid them or reduce your meetings or the time you spend with them. Better is just to get off them, but sometimes your boss is actually the person who lets you down. I would say, if possible, change your job, or maybe change the position, or maybe move to some another role, whatever you do. But you cannot be in a situation where a person is letting you down all the time. Another is ask people about their interest. Everyone is interested in themselves. If I am talking to you, I need to talk to you. When I talk to my students, I talk to them about, how their studies are going, what they are finding difficult, how they like the profession, where do they live, what their parents do they find it challenging, if they are not living in their hometown. For example, someone from Madhya Pradesh is living in Delhi or Gurgaon, I ask them, how this, and then I try to relate it with my own experience when I did not live at my home. I was in the US for a few years. So I tell them, I can relate to them, that struggle people from outside the home cities or where actually they're working, this the struggle they have, the challenges they face. And at the same time, I appreciate them, people who live alone or live outside home, they become more confident. They are self-doers and they usually do better. So I try to appreciate them. I talk about their interests rather than simply, let us say, talking about my education, my money, my properties, my children. If I keep on bragging about my own achievements and all that, no one is keen in that, believe me. You make sure that first you are similarly, if you go to client, don't go with the solution first or what you can do for the client. Yes, you need to have that in the mind, but you don't need to talk about it. You need to prepare for it. But when you go and meet the client, you need to make sure that you ask client about their business, what challenges they are facing, what processes they are doing. For example, in my, what are the issues they are facing in compliances, where I can help that person. So it should not be other way around, me saying that I can do this or that. Another very common problem these days is phone. Phone is a great tool we all love. I don't think in today's world any one of us can survive without phone. But please make sure that you're not slave of your phone. This is not that your phone should always be with you and you are always watching. For example, if you take me out for lunch and half of the time you are scrolling on your phone, even if you pay for that lunch, I would not really enjoy that conversation or the time I spent with you. And this is a common problem. Or if I go for a meeting, again, because sometimes, we have only one brain. Multitasking actually is a myth. You can do only one thing at a time. And if you are in a meeting, my request is, or if you go, it's not like office meeting, personal meeting. For example, if you are sitting with your mother, if you are talking to your child, if you are, sitting with your wife and, have some personal time, please keep your phone away. Either you mute it. I would rather say that you keep it in another room. If you go for a meeting with your boss, you don't need to carry your phone all the time. Don't become slave. Or people appreciate, when you focus. Again, you can focus only one thing at a time. Another is meeting new people and having genuine interest in people and appreciate people, as I mentioned. So, many of us have been taught in our childhood that, we should not be meeting new people or strangers. Sometime, we get into trouble for that. But unless you meet new people, and when I talk about new people means not only from my own community or from own religion or from own place. You should be open, embrace people from all communities, all religions, and be open minded. Be genuinely interested in what they are saying and what they can teach you, and try to appreciate that. Because we learn only things when we, break our, own corridor or, our own community barrier, and then we move out. I personally believe when I lived outside Delhi, I was born, brought up in Delhi, I learned a lot of new things, meeting new people, new cultures, how to talk to them, respect them, and appreciate. You always learn new things. Don't think that my culture, my religion is complete and no other religion or no other person or no other community is better than mine and they cannot teach anything. I'm not saying that you agree that they are better than us, but we can all learn from each other. Next, I would say is some fun hobby. Fun hobby is, many times we don't want to learn beyond our profession. So, for example, I'm so much busy in audit taxation that I don't have any hobby. If you don't have any hobby and you are doing just what your profession is allowing you to learn or do, believe me, you're not going to be interesting person. You're not going to be interesting personality. Again, the hobby should be, something which releases your stress. So, for example, I do gardening or I go to nature and I basically feed animals, stray animals or birds and all that, living creatures, and I really love it. Or even for that matter, my teaching is actually my hobby. It's not my profession. So again, you should have something, some hobby which releases your stress and where people can identify you. People just simply don't like professionals who do only profession. As a professional, they may like them, they may get job done, but again, it is not considered like a great personality. It's a great professional. And another is that you need to have some humor or lighter side as well. Not always that you speak very straight. Sometimes add some humor in life. Spread humor. Smile. Smile. I tell everyone that when you smile genuinely and you are nice to people, it is contagious. People really appreciate. You can build relationship, even bad relationships. Even sometimes you have some animosity, someone does not like you, but let us say last email conversation didn't go well in the meeting, but maybe you meet them next time, you smile and you greet them nicely. As I mentioned before also, it is not like you get upset. It's not a bad thing, it happens with all of us. But how long you cling to it and how long you carry that moment, that feeling bad, someone wrote me a bad email or someone said something which I did not like, I should not be sitting on it for a long time. I have to move on. If I cannot do it, my personality obviously would be, in Hindi we call it sadiyal banda hai, dukhi rehta hai, kalapta rehta hai. All these things would be associated with you. And do something, just as I mentioned in the past before also, that something daily only for you. For example, I go for walk, or I do exercise, or I read. I should have time, because if I don't have time for myself, I would not, I cannot become a better personality. It is not always that you are among people and you are learning. You should have time to read books or do new things. Only then your personality will improve. As I mentioned before, also please make sure that you smile, you laugh. People should consider you as a positive personality. And also you should be a solution finder. Many times I have seen from my own experience, people working in office, they try to find problems. In my profession, for example, people will say, यार ये नहीं हो सकता, ये allowed नहीं है, ये गलत है, ये process में नहीं है, this is not there in the process, this is wrong, this is not in the rules, and this is not what is approved. You need to find some solutions. My boss used to tell me that, please, if you have some problem, also try to have your own solution and then come to me. I can only give you, agree on some of the options, but don't expect me to bring solutions for you. If you are solution finder, or if you provide support to people, so let us say if someone comes to you, for example, if I'm a student and another student comes to me and asks me some question, or something which they have not been able to understand, please make sure that you find something. If you can help them, if you know it, please do find some solution. If you become solution finder or support provider, only then your personality is considered good. If you simply say, nahi yaar, isme to I am not getting any money, not value for money, why should I waste my time, all that, believe me, you will not be considered a good friend. You may be making money, but at least it will not give you happiness, and people would not like you. Keep your promise. Another important thing is that whatever you say, whatever you agree or commit to someone, please try to make sure that you meet it, or at least do your best efforts to meet those promises. I mean, once in a while it can happen. I would say once or twice in 100 times, that due to some contingent or some other reason, which is beyond your control, you could not meet it. But at least your intention should be clear. If I am saying that I will give you money in a week, I must give you at least in a week, maybe in 5 days, 4 days, whatever, I can try. But it should not be like eighth day or 7 day, someone reminding you that you have to give me money, and you are saying, oh yaar, sorry yaar, mere paas paise nahi hai, or sorry, I forgot it. This is very, very disrespectful. Sometimes people actually are dependent on you for doing something, so please make sure that you are actually doing it. Treat everyone with respect, as I mentioned, that people, whatever social status, whatever social strata they belong to, your stand should be same, that you respect. Believe me, nicely you can talk to anyone, you can get the resolution, you can get the solution done. It is not like that you will speak loudly and you will yell at someone and only then some solution will come, only then that some person will come. I mean, obviously if someone has habit of not doing or working, obviously you end your relationship with them, because you cannot be stuck in such relationship with maybe a service provider, or a, someone from whom you buy your products and all that, or it may be some relationship also. But please make sure that you basically treat everyone with respect and be nice to them. And it could be from different religions. I also tell everyone that, please, don't make your mind, don't start judging people because they belong to different religions. Patience, Patience is another very, very important thing. People sometimes lose patience very fast. Someone was supposed to be at a particular place, let us say, or someone had promised something, but I get jittery and I started bothering that person even before the commitment, or within 5 minutes. For example, if I'm going for an interview and someone is late by 15 minutes, I completely consider it as personally, it's not nice. That person who is taking your interview, he should be there on the time, but at the same time, you should be patient. As an interviewee, you should be patient. You need to make sure that you don't say words. Sometimes people are actually checking your patience only. Again, be humble, be nice, whatever, how much money, bank balance, it doesn't matter. If you talk to people graciously with respect, again, as I mentioned, if you're genuinely interested in people around you, people will respect you, people will like you. If you don't do it, no one would actually like it, and you would not be considered a great personality. So again, I would just try to summarize all that what I just mentioned. That one is that you need to be around people who are nice, kind. We all like them. People who talk to you about you, you like them, so you also try to become like them. Make sure that you are physically fit, mentally you are fit, you are not emotionally challenged on small things, and people should like your company. Again, you are just summarizing that your knowledge should be more than your profession only. Improve your communication skills, improve your confidence level, be interested in other people, keep your phone off, and be nice, genuine to people, and some hobbies and all that. So this is all I had to say about building personality. Maybe I missed something, and I'm sure there would be some other things also where you can improve your personality. But this is as much as I could summarize. So I'll now keep it open for others to ask questions, or anything they want to discuss, or maybe they want to suggest. Thank you from my side. Yeah, I'm just trying to see chat, whatever people have written, because I did not read any of the comments. Microphone is already muted. Someone has written, nice to meet you, professor, in this. If someone hurts you emotionally in public, then how can it be possible to not get affected, or one should leave that place? It is very common that people ill treat you in public, but that is their personality problem. That is not your personality problem. If I ill treat you, if I disrespect you, that is my problem. It means I am not a good personality. I don't know how to behave in public. If I, let us say, use abusive language for anyone, not that person, becomes petty or small. It is actually people think that I am not a nice guy. I don't know how to behave. And I would say in that situation, you feel that you convince yourself, that person has some challenges, some problems. Maybe, he's not mentally very stable. Maybe, he had some fight at home or some other issues, or maybe this is how he is. But you are not going to change your character or personality just because someone bothered you. There is a reasonable limit. I would say just leave that place, go away. Maybe that person will regret later on, or maybe that person will calm down. Any other question? This is all I could see. So leaving place is also good. If things are not getting under control, just leave that place rather than misbehaving.
Thank you, sir. What a wonderful knowledge given by you. I hope our audience learned many new things from this session. Once again, I would like to thank you for joining us and sharing your experience, your precious time, and knowledge with us. And questions you have already answered everything, and I think you answered very effectively for our audience. And that was very good piece of advice. Thank you for answering these questions.